Today's video, we're going to talk about unique taxpayer reference numbers. That's the UTR, which is the number that you need when filing a self-assessment tax return. Unique taxpayer reference numbers, or UTRs, are 10-digit codes that uniquely identify you or your business. They are used by HMRC whenever they're dealing with your tax. From claiming for a tax refund to filing a self-assessment tax return, your UTR will make sure the taxman always knows who he's talking to. So here we are on the gov.uk register for self-assessment page, just the overview page here. So registering if you're self-employed, if you have to send a tax return and did not send one last year, you need to register for self-assessment and class 2 national insurance. So that's my predicament. I do have to send a tax return. And for myself, it will be a very first time. So if you have not filed a return online before, registering online, once you've completed the questions, HMRC will create your account. So we need to create the account, and then I'll receive the unique taxpayer reference number. So number 2, you'll receive a letter with your unique taxpayer reference number within 10 days, 21 if you're abroad, and you'll need your UTR to file a return. So again, you need to get the UTR, the unique taxpayer reference number first, and then you can file your tax return. And then number 3, you'll then receive another letter with an activation code for your account. This video is going to be about registering online. So you'll be able to see what I've done registering my account online, answering the questions that HMRC has, creating the account, which then allows me to then ultimately receive a letter to get my UTR. So once you've activated your account, you can then file your tax return anytime before the deadline. I'm doing a self-assessment return for the very first time, and this video is going to outline the registration process. So here we are. Enter your email address. So this will only be used to send you security updates or if you need to recover your sign-in details. To confirm it is your email address, we will send you a code. So we're going to enter your email address here. So the next page I have, it states that I have to enter the code to confirm your email address. So we have sent a code to your email address. So I open up the email that had been sent by gov.uk and it has the code inside of it. So you have requested a code you can enter on the government gateway screen to confirm your email address. Your confirmation code is copying and pasting the code in and click on confirm. So email address confirmed. This will enable us to help you get the most from this service. So that's good. That's the email address confirmed. Click on continue. So what is your full name? I'm actually going to have to use my UK passport further on down the line in this video. So I stick to my name as it appears in my UK passport. So I just have a first and last name. I don't have a middle name. So I just go by my UK passport. That was the safest option I thought in entering my name. I didn't have any middle names or any middle initials. So mine is fairly straightforward, but I think the best way to approach it is to just do it as per, let's say, your UK passport. The next page, create a password. Your password must be 10 or more characters, and you can use a mix of letters, numbers, or symbols. So we're just creating a password here for the account. Clicking on continue, I am then sent to the next page, which is set up recovery for your sign-in details. So you need to set up a recovery word so that you can get back into Government Gateway if you forget your password. Click on continue. And then set up a recovery word. So make a note of this word in case you need it in the future. The word must be between 6 and 12 characters, not contain spaces or special characters, and not contain numbers. So here in this screen, we have to type in the recovery word and then we'll click on continue. And then I've been given my Government Gateway user ID. And I've also had that emailed to me as well, as you can see on screen. And so you will need your user ID and your password each time you sign into Government Gateway. So it's imperative that you make note of this Gateway user ID and your password to keep it somewhere safe, because without that, you won't be able to sign into the Government Gateway. Click on continue. So the next page is you need to set up additional security. This is to make sure only you can sign in. We click on continue. How do you want to get access codes? We have 3 options here. We get the option of getting a code texted to us. So text message, get code sent to a mobile phone. You can have a voice call, so get codes by automated message to a UK mobile landline, or you can have the authentication app for smartphone or tablets. So get codes generated by an authentication app on your mobile device, such as a smartphone or tablet. In this instance, I'm just going to opt for the good old text message. Click on continue. And then, are you adding a UK mobile number? So I'm going to add a UK mobile number. Yes, continue. Entering a UK mobile number. So we will send an access code to this mobile phone by text message. So I enter my UK mobile phone number and then click on send access code. So now I've been texted that access code to my mobile number. So we have sent a 6-digit access code to this following number. It may take a few minutes to arrive. Once it arrives, you just simply re-enter that code onto this page and click continue. There we have it. You've set up additional security. Every time you sign in, we'll request an access code. If you set up more than one security preference, you'll be able to choose how you get the access code. So for me, I've just used the text message way of getting the access code. So every time I try to log in, I will have a text sent to me with the access code, which I need to enter as well. We click on continue, and here we have it. Register for HMRC taxes. So introduction. This service allows you to register a business with Revenue and Customs for the following taxes: self-assessment, including Class 2 national insurance contributions, corporation tax, PAYE for employers, and VAT. Do not use this service if you are not a business. To continue and for further information on the types of businesses that can use the service, please click the next button below. And so what we're going to do here is please select an option below to tell HMRC what you want to do next, then click the next button to continue. So from the options, I have two. So I want to tell HMRC that I am in business and need to register for a new tax, or tell HMRC that the company is now active, or I want to sign up to use the online service for a tax for which the business is already registered. So for my personal scenario, I'm picking the first option. I want to tell HMRC that I'm in business and need to register for a new tax, or tell HMRC that the company is now active. So that's the option I'm picking. I select it and then I click on next. And the next page is what types of business can use this service. The following types of business can use this service to register with Revenue and Customs for the taxes shown. So self-assessment and PAYE, that's self-employed sole traders, which I am, or a nominated partner of a self-employed business partnership. Next up is corporation tax and PAYE, so limited companies. You will need the company's house registration number and the unique taxpayer reference from HMRC. And also VAT, so VAT with regards to sole proprietors, corporate bodies, including limited companies, unincorporated bodies, including clubs and societies, partnerships, including limited liability partnerships, limited partnerships, Scottish partnerships, and Scottish limited partnerships, trusts, and local authorities. So there are some types of business that cannot use this service and will need to register by another method. To continue and for further information on these types of business, please click the next button below. So for my scenario again, it's just going to be self-employed / sole traders. So I'm going to click on next. And the following page says types of businesses that cannot use this service. So the following types of businesses can't use this service to register with Revenue and Customs. So limited liability partnerships except for VAT, trusts again except for VAT, clubs and societies for corporation tax and PAYE, and government departments and NHS trusts. For self-assessment, you can't use this service to register if you're in receipt of unemployability supplement, HMRC has already given you a unique taxpayer reference, or you aren't the nominated partner by joining a self-employed business partnership. So a lot more information there as well. I'll let you read that if that's of interest to you. I'm registering as self-employed, so I do qualify for this service. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. So what to do next? To continue with this registration, you must have a government gateway account. If you don't have a government gateway account, one will be created for you as part of the registration process. Please note, you can't register two different businesses for the same business tax with HMRC using a single government gateway account. For example, to register two businesses for VAT, you must have a separate government gateway account for each business. You can use this service if you're a company that has been dormant and wants to tell HMRC that you're now within the charge to corporation tax. Once your registration application has been processed, HMRC will automatically enroll each business for the online service associated with the taxes you registered for. You'll then be able to file your returns online. You have only 90 days to complete the registration from the date you start to fill it in. So the information you enter will be saved automatically as you move through the pages. To register the business, please click the next button below. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to click next. So select taxes. Tell us the tax or taxes you want to register the business for. You can also use this service to tell us your company is now active for corporation tax purposes. Your business will be automatically enrolled for the online services associated with these taxes unless you are acting as an agent. Now this is really important. Please note we will save your information for 90 days after you have started the registration process. If you have not submitted it by then, we will delete it. So remember folks, you have to complete this registration process within 90 days. If you don't, if you leave it just to go away and get some further information, make sure you get it all sorted within 90 days. Otherwise the whole thing will be deleted, okay? So in this instance, I'm just going to go for self-assessment, so including Class 2 national insurance contributions. That's the one that is applicable to me. Again, as I'm self-employed, I'm a sole proprietor. Self-assessment will be the one I'll tick, and I'll click on next. So next up, we need to ask some questions to prove your identity. You'll be asked to give details about two items you may have, like your UK passport, payslips or P60, self-assessment, tax credits and voice ID, Northern Ireland driving license. You may also be able to answer questions about your credit record. We ask these questions to protect you against malicious or fraudulent attempts to access the service. So just to let you know, the things that I'm going to have and the things that you might want to have to hand as well if you want to replicate what I did is I have my UK passport as well as my P60. Those are the two items that I use, although of course you've got more options here as well if they are more applicable to your scenario. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue. Right, so first up, confirm your identity. Enter your details. This is to help us confirm who you are, so we know what questions to ask you. Like I said before, I'm just going to stick with how my name appears in my UK passport, just for consistency purposes. I highly implore that you do the same thing, just to make sure that since it's a government issued document, I'm filling in a registration on a government website makes the most sense, just to make sure everything is consistent. So here we are, I'm going to put my first and my last name and then my national insurance number, followed by my date of birth, and then clicking on continue. And we are processing your details. This may take up to 30 seconds. Right, here we have it. So as I mentioned before, choosing two items that we can ask you about. So I'm gonna have to hand my UK passport and my P60. So I'm going to select those two items. So I highlight UK passport and it says we'll need to check the details you enter with HM Passport Office. I'm happy to agree with that. Then I'm asked which document I want to use. So I'm going to select my P60. Right, so first up, my UK passport details. Passport number, so that contains up to 9 numbers and no letters. You'll find that on the bio page. That's the page with your photo on it. It's in the top right hand corner. That's the 9 numbers. You can count them and make sure that's the one, but that's what the passport number is. Followed by the date of expiry and then the names again as they appear in the passport, again, just for consistency purposes. Once I've entered that, I'll click on continue. Next up is the P60. So enter the employee's contribution figure on your P60. This is the figure in the right hand column headed employees contributions due on all earnings above the PT. And if you're struggling to find that, you can click on where to find the amount on a sample P60 to going to populate an example for you so you can kind of match it to your P60 and then find that employee's contribution figure. There we have it, highlighted in orange. And once I've found that, I'll click on continue. Next up, enter the total for year figure on your P60. So this is in the pay and income tax detail section. Use the total for year figure in the column headed pay. We can get the example up, so where to find your total pay details, we'll click on that, find it and then match it against our own P60, enter that figure in, and then we'll click on continue. And there we have it, identity check complete. You have answered the security question successfully. Great, so we'll click on continue now. All right, next up, so type of business. It is important that HM Revenue and Customs know what type of business you want to register, so you are only asked the relevant questions. Select the type of business you want to register from the options shown below, and then click the next button to continue. So the type of business, there's two options here. So self-employed / sole trader / sole proprietor, or partnership. So for my own personal circumstances, I'm going to pick self-employed / sole trader / sole proprietor and then click on next. And the following page I'm greeted with this. So questions about the business. The trading allowance was introduced from 6th of April 2017. If you have annual gross income from self-employment of £1,000 less, then you may not even need to register your self-employment for that year. So based on the tax you have selected, HM Revenue and Customs require the following information about the business. If you are completing this on behalf of someone else, the information requested on all pages from this point forward relates to the business you are registering. So I'm completing this on behalf of myself, so please enter the information below, then click the next button to continue. So self-assessment for self-employed sole traders, including class 2 national insurance contributions. When did you start working for yourself, or when did your trading allowance exemption cease? So I'm going to put my date of when I started working for myself, and then I'm going to go ahead and click next. Right, so the next page, what you will need. Based on the answer you have given to the questions about the business, you will need the following information to complete the registration. Please note the system will time you out if you do not use it for 15 minutes. Any information you have entered so far will not be saved unless you click the next button below. If you are timed out on a later page in your application, any information you have entered up to that point will be saved. When you log back in, you will be returned to the page you were using when you were timed out. To continue, please click the next button below. So self-assessment for self-employed sole traders. You will need the following information about the self-employed sole trader registering for the tax, so i.e. myself. So I'm going to need my national insurance number. I've had that before from the previous pages, my full name and my date of birth. Again, I'm going to go by my UK passport for consistency purposes, and contact details and those of the business. So we're going to click on next. So we have a registration summary that we're greeted with. So you must complete all the sections below before the registration can be submitted. To complete, view or amend a section, please follow the relevant link in the status column or click the next button to start completing the first section. To delete this registration, click the delete button. You cannot do this if you have accessed this registration as a delegate. Sharing this registration form. If you want to allow another person, such as an agent, to complete, view or amend this registration, you can share it with them by setting them up as a delegate. To do this, please follow the set up a delegate link below. I'm not going to set up a delegate, but that option is available for you if you want to pursue it. So here on the registration summary, it says a tick means you have entered information in this section. An arrow means you haven't entered information in this section. And a cross means this section is incomplete or information within it is invalid. So as you can see right now, I've yet to enter information in any of the sections. So we're going to go through them step by step. So this is a bit of a preview as to what I expect to be asked. So the section will be about you, and that will be status, personal information, your home address, your contact details, and about the business, it'll be the business details, the business address, and business contact details. We'll go ahead and click on next and get started. So the next section we're greeted is about you, so personal information. Please enter the details below about the person who's registering for the taxes, then click the next button to continue. So again, as the sole trader, I'm going to be putting in my details in this section. So I've put in my title, my salutation, and my first and my last names. I don't have a middle name. I'm putting in my date of birth, followed by my national insurance number, and then answering if I'm a UK resident. So yeah, I am a UK resident. So this is just a sample of the answers for myself for the following questions. They may be different to yourself, but you need to answer them as honestly as possible about your own scenario. But for myself, the answers are no. I haven't come to the UK from a non-EU country within the last 12 months. I'm not a share fisherman. Not even sure quite what that is. Are you a land and property business? No. Are you a Lloyd's underwriter? No. Are you a director? No. Are you a minister of religion not in receipt of a salary or stipend? No. And are you an examiner invigilator? No. Is your business an investment? No. And do you intend to work in the construction industry? No. So the next question is, if you have previously registered for self-assessment, please enter the unique taxpayer reference you were given at the time. It is the 10-digit reference in the top left-hand corner on page 1 of the tax return. So I have never actually registered for self-assessment before, so I don't have a previous UTR number. So if you're working for one person or firm only, you may be employed rather than self-employed. If you're unsure, you can check your employment status using the employment status indicator tool by following the link below. So you can check that link and see if it matches your own personal circumstances. For myself, I am self-employed. So therefore, to the question, are you working for one person or firm only? I'm going to click on no. Next up, your home address. So please enter the information below, then click the find address button to continue. If you don't know the postcode or have a non-UK address, click either the postcode unknown or non-UK address button. So for me, I'm going to provide a UK postcode where I live, and then it's going to generate and find my address. So I'll enter the postcode and I'll click on the find address button. Following that, you get the search results. So I get to pick my actual address from the drop down box and then click on next. And then your home address confirmation. Please check that the address details shown below are correct. And if asked, confirm that you have lived at the address for less than 3 years. Then click the next button to continue. So I'm just double checking my address details, then clicking on next. Next up, it's about you, your contact details. Please enter the contact details for the person that HM Revenue and Customs can contact about this registration. Then click the next button to continue. So the things that they want are the email address, confirming that email address, and a telephone number or a mobile telephone number. So again, this is about myself. In my own personal circumstances, I am the person that HMRC will contact. So these are my contact details. Next up, and here we have confirmation. So please check that the information below is correct, then click the next button to continue. If any of the information is incorrect, follow the link in the section you want to change. So this is just a nice summary of all the questions that I've answered previously. Just do give it a good look, make sure everything is correct, there's no typos, and then you can go ahead and continue or edit if need be. You go ahead and click next. And the next page is about the business, so business details. Please answer the questions below relating to the business. Then click the next button to continue. When did you start working for yourself? The trading name of the business, if it's applicable. What sort of self-employed work do you do? So there is some examples there, so plumbers, investment business, electrical engineers, for example. So you'll fill this in as per your own circumstances and exactly what your business entails. And and then you click on next. Following that, it's the business address. So you enter the address shown below as the home address of the person registering for the taxes. Please confirm if the business address is the same by selecting an option for the drop down menu. So it's already pre-populated my home address, and for my own scenario, it is actually going to be the same address for my business too. So from the drop down menu, I can then say yes to, is the business address the same as this address? Clicking next. So business contact details. Please enter details that HM Revenue and Customs can use to contact you about the business. If you enter an email address, confirmation of receipt of your registration can be sent to you. So you need to provide at least one of the following contact details. So a business telephone number, a mobile number, a fax number, or an email address. So please note, you must provide an email address if you want HMRC to send you an email acknowledging receipt of your registration. So here I'm going to provide my mobile number and an email address, and then I'm going to click next. And here we have it, confirmation. Please check that the information below is correct. Then click the next button to continue. If any of the information is incorrect, follow the link in the section you want to change. So here we've just got a summary of the information I've already provided, making sure that I go through each section to make sure that I haven't typoed or provided incorrect information. So again, now we've gone back to the summary, you'll see that this time round, we've got the tick. So a tick means you have entered information in this section. So as you can see, all those sections have got ticks to them. So the entire registration has been completed. We don't have any arrows or any X's. So it's looking good so far. And I've gone through each of the summaries beforehand to make sure that all my information is correct and typo free. Then I'm going to click on next. And I'm met with the declaration. So please check that the information shown below is correct and select the capacity you are acting in from the drop down menu. You must then tick the declaration checkbox, then click the next button to submit your registration. Taxes you have requested to register. You have requested to register as self-employed/sole trader for self-assessment and class 2 NICs. Online services you will be enrolled for. You'll be enrolled to use the online services listed below. An activation code for each service that requires one will be sent to you by post once your application has been successfully verified and the enrollment is complete. So the service that I've enrolled for is self-assessment. And the declaration, in what capacity are you completing this registration? So in my circumstance, I'm going to select self-employed/sole trader/sole proprietor. Then I'm going to tick the declaration. I declare that the information I have provided in this registration is accurate and complete to the best of my knowledge. And then I'm going to click on next. And then I'm prompted to re-enter my signing details for the government gateway. And I've entered that, and now I've got the acknowledgement. So your registration application was successfully submitted. And I'm given an acknowledgement reference. And here we go. So please note, the information you have submitted will now be verified. The security checks that HM Revenue and Customs perform mean that in most cases it will take approximately a week for this process to be completed, but sometimes it may take longer. Once your registration has been successfully verified, HMRC will contact you separately about each tax you have registered for. This will be by post, except for most VAT applications which will use the Customer Communication Service. HMRC recommends that you print this information for your records by following the view and print link below. Once you leave this page, the information will no longer be available. And then finally, I go to log out and go to the HMRC homepage. And that is how you apply for the UTR number. I successfully received my UTR number in the post, and I was then able to submit my self-assessment. This is just a walkthrough of my own personal application. It's not tax advice or financial advice, but a way for you to kind of walk step by step with me in my journey and how I applied for my UTR number for my own self-assessment return. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please do give it a like, share it with someone else you might think might benefit from it. Do subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. And feel free to drop me a comment below, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.